asshole for telling my stepfather that he isn't my dad after he bought me a $3,200 gift? I'm 20 female and my dad passed away 6 years ago. My mother remarried less than a year later and it was a horrible experience, and at the time I didn't know how to manage my feelings. I never liked the man that she remarried and kept my distance over the years. However, he began buying my siblings and I lavish gifts from the start. My siblings loved the new lifestyle. I moved out as soon as I could. Fast forward to the present, I am financially independent and live by myself while my parents live at their house and I don't see them often. A couple of years ago, my mother and her husband had a pre-anniversary dinner, and once again he had a bunch of gifts for all of us. He gave me a gift worth $3,200, the most expensive one out of all of them, and he said that he hoped that we could work towards mending our relationship. My mother kept asking me if I like it and even told me to say thank you. There was a lot of pressure and quite frankly it was irritating. I told him that it was a waste of money, irresponsible, and stupid to spend that much money on someone that doesn't even care about you. Part 2, am I that asshole for telling my stepfather that he isn't my dad after he bought me a $3,200 gift? I told him that he's not my dad and to stop acting like these gestures will make a difference. Absolute chaos ensued. My mother screamed at me and told me to get out, and my siblings were pissed too and called me a spoiled brat amongst other things. They said that I'm always being coddled by our stepfather and that I don't even deserve nice things. Over the past few days, I've been called immature, petty, obnoxious, ungrateful, disrespectful, cruel, attention-seeking, etc. My mother even said that my attitude is completely unattractive to men and that I'll be forever single if I continue being so heartless. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for changing my baby while wearing gloves and a mask? I, 28 female, and my wife, 29 female, just had our first child about 4 months ago. My wife was the one who gave birth. I love my daughter so much and would do anything for her. We both work from home and therefore split childcare pretty much 50-50. If she's busy and the baby is crying or needs food/changing, I take care of it and vice versa. The issue though is diaper changes. I've always been really squeamish and sensitive to bad smells. My wife knows I even fainted briefly while she was giving birth. Therefore, if it's my turn for a change, I always have a getup that actually helps me get through it. I wear disposable gloves, a mask, and a minty smelling salve underneath my nose before I get started. Go check out part 2. Am I the asshole for changing my baby while wearing gloves and a mask? My wife has become more and more insistent that I get over it and grow up because in her mind, I am not bonding with our daughter. When she changes her, she likes to linger and talk sweetly to her and caress her. I don't because I find it very difficult to get through already. But I love spending time with my daughter otherwise. I hold her and read to her and play with her a lot. My mom and mother-in-law came over the other day and I feel like my mom and my wife ganged up on me about this issue. My mom said that I was acting like a toxic man and that she was ashamed of how I was acting. My mother-in-law was more sympathetic but said that I get used to it and that exposure therapy was the best thing to help. I don't think that what I'm doing is wrong. Again, I have no issue changing the baby when needed, but maybe I am being really cold. Story time about how the guy I'm seeing wants me to get an abortion. I've been seeing this guy since the beginning of May and we never made anything official since it was never supposed to go anywhere because he wants to have more kids. I was not able to have more kids due to having my parts removed because of cancer, so we never really wore protection. Well, I found out that I'm pregnant and turns out the doctor who did my surgery did the wrong surgery. He has a child already and I have 3. He wants me to get an abortion because we hardly know each other and he's worried this is going to mess up being able to see his other child. I am against abortion for myself unless medically necessary. I am completely torn on what to do. One thing's for sure, I will definitely be suing the doctor/hospital. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that she can't be in a family photo at an upcoming wedding? I come from a big but close family and we have like 8 weddings a year. More than a decade ago, my family made a rule. Significant others can only be in family photos when the relationship has lasted a year. This rule came to be after too many photos were ruined by exes being on there. Yes, my family is dramatic like that. Of course, after a year, things can still go wrong and photos can still be ruined, but at least it's less likely. I have been dating my girlfriend for about 6 months and we're in a serious relationship. One of my cousins is getting married soon and she was invited as well. When I told her about the rule, she found it absolutely ridiculous and was insulted for our relationship. Am I the asshole for not inviting my friend's boyfriend to my wedding? I'm getting married next month, and when the wedding was being booked, the UK had restrictions on weddings, so I could only book 30 guests. This wasn't a problem as I only really wanted my family and a handful of close friends. My friend Sarah has an on and off relationship with her boyfriend Bill for 2 years. He is verbally abusive to her frequently and was once caught passing photos of me in a bikini from my social media around to his work friends. She always forgives him. Due to the tight guest list and me not really liking him, he was not invited. On receiving her invite, Sarah asked if her boyfriend's kids were coming. I said due to the restrictions, the invite was only for her and she was one of the 3 close friends invited. She asked why he wasn't invited and I repeated about the restrictions. She then asked why my cousin's partners were coming, which I'm very close to, and she kept going on and on about how weird it was that I wouldn't invite him and how uncomfortable it was making her. I note that she knows the other 2 friends, which are both coming alone, very well and is on great terms with my family. The conversation got awkward, so I left. I was shocked that she would insist on her boyfriend attending, knowing he's been creepy about me, let alone how he treats her. I got a notification that she had stopped sharing her location with me, something that she does in case either of us ever needed help, but turns it off if she's mad or has gone back to her boyfriend and thinks I'm checking up on her, which I'm not. I asked her if she was mad at me and she went off. She went off stating that she hadn't stopped sharing her location, why would I accuse her of that and how dare I, etc. It was insane. This went on for hours and I tried to revert back to the convo about my wedding, but she ignored it and kept lying about why she hadn't turned off her location. I told her I knew she was lying, so what was the point? I just wanted to talk about the wedding and she wouldn't tolerate it, just wanted to go crazy about me saying that she had lied. She also started denying several other things she had said, saying I was clearly going crazy and misreading everything that she'd actually said. I actually started to question myself several times, but it was all there in writing. Since then, we've spoken twice. Both times I've gently tried to ask her if the boyfriend was reading the text and that's why she was kicking off. She denied this and said that she deserves better than me for being a good friend. Am I the asshole for refusing to cover up in my own apartment? So I, female 20, live in an apartment with 3 guys, my boyfriend, male 21, and our 2 mutual friends, both of whom we've known for years and are quite close to. One of these friends, call him X, has a new girlfriend and they've been dating for 2 or 3 months now. I'm not close with her or anything, but I talk to her whenever she's over, and while she's a little awkward, she's always seemed nice and I'd have no problem with her coming over or spending the night. When I'm around the house, I pretty much just wear exercise clothes or my pajamas unless I'm going out. I wear things like biker shorts, tank tops, sports bras, etc. I never really wear bras when I'm going out because I'm not blessed on the top to begin with, so there's not much to be seen. So X approached me the other day and asked me if I could cover up when his girlfriend... Am I the asshole for refusing to cover up in my own apartment? So my roommate approached me the other day and asked me if I could cover up while his girlfriend's over because it makes her uncomfortable that I'm wearing so little. She thinks it's inappropriate and disrespectful to their relationship. This really pissed me off. I told him that if the guys can wear tank tops and boxers, I can be comfy too. And if she's insecure, that's something that they have to work out together and does not involve me. He apologized and didn't bring it up to me again. Our other roommate agrees with me, but my boyfriend thinks that I overreacted and should cover up while she's over to keep the peace, and apologized to my friend for mouthing off and suggesting his girlfriend is insecure. So am I the
asshole for leaving a family gathering because my family made me sit at the kids' table? For context, I haven't seen my full family together in quite some time. So they set up a get-together at a park today. The family gathering includes me, 22 male, my brother, 21, my sister, 25, her husband, 29, and their 2 kids. My dad, stepmom, and her kids, 6 and 9, aunt, uncle, my 2 cousins, 15 and 20, grandma, grandpa. I get there with some picnic items. I brought a quiche and the cups, and see a few members setting up. I say hi and help set up the tables and set the food out. We talk and play games while the others show up. When everyone gets there, we sit down to eat. I sit next to my dad and get a weird look from my aunt as she says to me, "This is the adults' table." To which I reply, "I'm an adult." She tells me that the first and second generations are considered adult and the third and fourth generations should sit at the kids' table since we, quote, don't have much to contribute to adult conversations.
Oh, wow.
I tell her I can drink, that I drove here, that I pay rent and have a job. So how am I considered a child? She says that until I have kids of my own, I'll have to sit at the kids' table. According to my aunt, there are 8 children, ages 6 through 22, and 8 adults, ages 25 through 75. So I should just sit at the kids' table since it'll be even. But there is plenty of space at the adult table, and I don't want to be stuck with 5 literal children. She still disagrees, and at this point, my uncle and grandparents back her up. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So I say, fuck it. Take my quiche back, tell them to have a nice day, and drive away.
In this circumstance, yeah, I would leave too. 100%.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
So it goes on to say, I get a few texts telling me to come back by my dad and grandparents. I ask if aunt is going to apologize, and they ask, for what? That was enough for me to disregard their other messages and calls until I got home, where I am now. I feel shitty that I may have possibly ruined a nice family gathering, but feel my family doesn't respect me at all. Enough to say that I am still a child and apparently have the same mentality as 6-year-olds. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, he didn't ruin anything. I mean, no, he's not the asshole, but he did not ruin anything.